Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Staxon. Our idea is presented by myself, Ashton Poist. This is Dimitri, and this is Danielle.
Our company we chose to present on is Staxon, which is a dynamic container system company. It is a revolutionary company that decided to vertically fold cargo containers and use nesting ideas instead of the common regular cargo container. This is an eco-friendly, cost-efficient, and more convenient way to move cargo. It is different from other cargo companies because it has space optimization in which it can fold vertically and take up the position of 5 and 1 slots when folded up on a cargo ship or truck. They are a licensed company and are seeking partners for marine, rail, and truck companies. They do not manufacture their own materials but sell the idea to other companies. And they are an American company for these cargo containers.
Okay, so what they like to call the stacking craze. There's been a couple ideas that have worked around through history, one of which is a folding container. However, the big issue is most of these containers did not nest, which means that they basically were able to combine together and actually use that space optimization. It's one thing to stack them horizontally on top of each other, but it's another thing to stack them into a perfect shape, whether it's one container, 2 containers that are partially folded, 3 containers that are again partially folded, 4, and then all the way to 5. When they're fully compressed, you can fit 5 side by side in the same current size of a standardized 20-foot TEU container. So having that capability means that not only will you eliminate the repositioning of all of these empty containers, you're able to put them into one spot, which means there's less space taken up. And for about 20% of the space, you're putting that same amount down. Also, the best part about this is made with ISO steel. So again, this is meeting the standardized market that is already out there. It's not changing anything. And the great part about this is it doesn't cost that much. So, and our next slide is.
Why all the fuss? Well, you'll be saving money. You'll be saving $100 to $125 per fold, $500 for all 5 sets, all 5 in 1. Another reason you'll also be saving space. As mentioned before, it is 5 in 1, so that's also a positive. Another good thing is that it's labor efficient and time efficient. It only takes 3 minutes for 2 people to lift up the cargo, and this compared to standardized cargo is 10% to 3 times cheaper. And yes,
Okay. For our positioning statement, it's for a containerized fleet of ships. Staxon has been making the quantum leaps in the development of cargo container space management because only Staxon has been able to make the ISO standardized 20-foot TEU containers fold vertically and take up to 1/5 of the space both efficiently and safely.
As mentioned before, this is an idea that has been used before, but Staxon uses the vertically folding nesting option instead of the other companies that use the folding technique but in a horizontal way. One of the competitors is Seabox, which is a horizontally folding cargo container. They specialize in military sea lift command and rapid deployment for the military, and they use the same idea but can't fit 5 in the space of one, and they are also not as sturdy since they fold with the sides going inwards, and it doesn't allow stacking ability to be as strong and reliable. Another competitor is Cargo Shell. They focus more on being eco-friendly and reducing cargo or CO2 emissions. They also fold horizontally, and later on there's a video showing how they are not as reliable, and they don't connect the same as the Saxon cargo containers. Our last competitor that we point out is Schmidt's Cargo Bull. It's a different type of competitor because it's for domestic transportation sector, and they are trucks that use the same folding abilities, but in a different way. They fold their length of the truck to be able to unload and load cargo easier than other trucking companies. So they use this revolutionary idea of folding to help transport their cargo, and that's why we have them as a competitor. All of these competitors, including Saxon, are located on the major ports such as Los Angeles, Seattle, Georgia, and New York, except for Cargo Bull, which is more of the domestic transport sector. But Saxon is also competing with them in their trucking industry. But we chose to focus on Seabox and Cargo Shell because they are the container shipping industry that we believe is a good target for Saxon.
So the question goes, well, this has been done before. People have tried, people have failed. But here's the reason why we are going to prevail in this. One, we have a set of rules of engagement, which we'll hit on our next slide. Another big reason is their huge reduction in cost, not just by themselves, but per container. The reduction of labor. It doesn't take as many men to do this. However, it's not that bad to train a unionized member, which normally in most areas, the unionized member doesn't like change. No matter how innovative the idea, they don't like change. If it means they're going to lose money, then they don't like it. So we're going to try and make sure that we get we're going to try and hit both the company, saving them money, but at the same time making sure that the longshoreman gets the pay he deserves. Another great thing is the stackability of it. No one has been able to hit the capacity. The closest is a 3-to-1 ratio, and that is Cargo Bull. Other than that, it's simplicity. It's a single part. It doesn't separate. Sorry. That's fine. It doesn't matter basically along what the lines of happening. Now, the big issue is the trade deficit. As you can see in the bar graph we have over here, it's kind of small. Probably blow it up for the next time we get the real presentation going. But the red shows your imports. The blue shows our exports. As you can see from earlier on, we've been quite on the export low side. It's not too bad. However, here comes the problem. When you import, I believe the number is 2,500,000 containers in a year are imported, while less than 500,000 are exported. The issue then becomes, well, now we have 2,500,000 containers sitting on our docks. China has 500,000 containers sitting on their docks. This provides a very serious issue because now we're going to be sending empty ships with empty cargo containers just to supply the Chinese with the cargo containers they need in order to bring these products to us. We can't have that. So with Staxon, it'll take that in a 20% ratio size, and we'll be able to basically stack the same equivalent of, I think it was somewhere around 2,900 containers into the small compact area of, I think it's 200, something like that. It's very simple. We actually have a video on this, so it's really nice. Let me hit that. There we go.
As mentioned Section 4, the rules of engagement are as follows. Do not change any workflow at the terminal or at the dock. This helps unions accept this idea because, as mentioned by Ashton, unions don't want to support change because it could mean that their employees and the people in the unions will suffer as a consequence. They do not want to rely on twist locks or interlocking or lifting because this is dangerous. The other companies, you can see in the videos that they shake and bulge when they are not supposed to, and Staxon eliminates these. Because there is no change in the workflow or the safety of these containers, they are a great idea for the shipping companies to invest in. That's why Staxon should focus on the shipping containers for the imbalanced trade routes.
Cost to you, Staxon costs 30% more to manufacture, however you'll be saving money. Staxon eliminates repositioning, which would save $15 billion are spent on repositioning per year, annually throughout the shipping business, and Staxon eliminates that, which would mean higher returns and capital. We are still assessing the overhead because it's still a new company, but we think there will be positive outcomes.
Okay, so these are the jaw-dropping results that we've occurred in the video. So as you'll see, this animation provides an overview of the workflow, utilization, and desensification of the agility benefits of the Staxon 5.1 space slot. As you can see, fully compressed, it takes up what is that of one container. The space slot optimization technology is made with ISO steel. It's shipping containers for container fleet owners, ocean carriers, dry haulers, rail carriers, marine terminals, and distribution centers. Using a typical marine terminal and equipment, workflow is demonstrated for the laden head haul. And overall, as time goes on, time is saved and thus money is saved. So as you see, the actual equivalency, if unstacked, can be moved from just to that small size. Simply 20 with space. So shipping straight to China, something like this would be great. Works on all standard equipment that's already out there, which means you don't have to buy new equipment, which many of our providers, you will have to buy new equipment, such as special trucks, special training, everything. You basically won't have to train anyone except for how to fold and unfold these containers, which in itself is very, very simple. You can see that on the left side, while they picked up a total of 2 containers side by side, which equals 2 TEUs or a 40-foot container, it wasn't fully stacked. It was able to take 2, which then eliminates the issue of if you have, let's say, 3 containers, 3 Staxon containers in China, you don't have to wait for 2 more to show up in order to complete this. You can have them stacked and just go. That eliminates that time waste as well.
Here we have a side-by-side comparison of Staxon on your right and Cargo Shell on your left. The first video shows real time how one container folds for Staxon company. The other video is sped up and we can see the flimsiness right here where it folds out and it is very dangerous looking. Also, the truck that is helping lift it has to be nailed down on the other side as support because it cannot unfold the cargo shell without tipping over. On the Saxon side, you could see that it just uses a forklift and it is very safe.
Does anyone want to see the videos again to just compare one by the other? No? Alright, just at least one, right?
For Saxon, it is fast, quick, and safe. As we saw, they had to slow down the video for cargo shell in order for it to even close to catch up to Saxon. They're flimsy, as you saw them waver when they were unfolded. The space does not equate to Staxon's 5-in-1. It is more costly because you have to have fitted technology such as the truck and weights to balance it out, and the time is much longer than Staxon.
As you can also see, the container on the left also requires that locking mechanism that Staxon does not, which again is more time. And for the danger part of it, if the strap breaks, the person who is inside of that container, locking that container, will die. It's no point about it, it's heavy and it will kill them.
And unions will better support Saxon because they don't have those locks.
Future objectives, many costs are high right now, so we're looking for cost reduction. We want to find a cheaper and more affordable and reliable vendor. We also, another objective would be to get into automation. Our mission is to make folding standardized. That's basically it. Any points?
Basically, all in all, the big point we're trying to find as of right now, because we still are a small company, currently we're licensing for outside sources to build. However, at this time, we're trying to find a resourceful and a sustainable resource of metal and building. That way that either we will absorb that manufacturing company and it will become the Staxon Building Company, or somewhere along those lines where we would have what Apple does with their phones. While Apple has the license, they send it over to foreign countries to be built. Same idea, thus reducing the cost price. Overall, if we keep with the material supply chain, we'll then start to actually, union workers, we'll start to phase them out. We'll make it simpler and easier, where it'll be a push button system that you will have an automatic folding and nesting. You will no longer need to have an outside vehicle to fold these. Therefore, increasing the time or decreasing the time and decreasing the pay that needs to be sent out.
Also, a benefit of Staxon as opposed to its competitors is that it reduces the size and also the reliability issues that the other competitors have, and that's why shipping companies should look to Staxon for their new revolutionized idea of cargo shipping.
Our steel makes it sturdy and safe, which is also a key factor in our business.
That's another point I did forget to hit on. The cargo box, while it is also flimsy, it is not made from ISO steel. It's made from a composite, which while it is easier to scan, one, is not standardized, and two, as you can see in that video, is extremely unstable. So at this time, does anyone have any questions or any ideas that they'd like to throw our way?
I think another good thing you guys left out about these foldable containers, and obviously its benefit, is when you're shipping back empty containers, that also poses a security threat. But you guys, since this product, is 5 containers collapsible in one, you don't have to waste time scanning them because you can't fit anything inside of them. So that would definitely be another strength you guys should add to it.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.